Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Sunday, the 7th of February. February. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, folks. Hi, I'm Paul. I'll be your host this morning on the morning sports briefing. Here we have got news on the cricket as we in the final round of the Super Smash games. Also, we've got 3 test matches going on at the moment. So bring up to speed with all of those. There's been action in the NBL with the Breakers in action, so we'll catch up on that one, and also with the NBA results from yesterday as well. There's also A-League action over in Australia and golfing action in both the PGA and the European Tour, where Danny Lee and Ryan Fox have been playing. There's also some news around the rugby as well for the Blues, and we'll bring you up to speed with all of that this morning. This is your best way to start the day, up to speed with all of the important sports news. And yes, the Blues have signed Kurt Eklund on a permanent contract now to replace the James Parsons, who has retired on medical advice on that one. Kurt Eklund, the Bay of Plenty hooker, had a good season as a replacement last year with the Blues as well. So he'll be looking at building on his experience from that. Over in the basketball and in the NBL, the Breakers took on the Taipans yesterday, picking up their first win of the season. They took the lead in the first quarter, only to be hauled back during the middle two. But a good final quarter, winning that on 26-13, saw them to an 85-95 win in that one. The Breakers were led by Ty Webster with 11 rebounds and 25 points in that one. Also, in the news, don't forget, we'll touch on the Six Nations. Thank you, Boa, in the live chat for reminding me that that is on. Lamar Patterson also scored 22 points for the Breakers coming off the bench. For the Taipans, they were led by Scott Machado with 25 points and 12 assists for his double-double, but it wasn't enough to see his team, to save his team there. Also, the Kings beat the 36ers 94-75 in that one. The Hawks remain top of the table, along with Melbourne United, both with 4 wins from their 4 games. But the Breakers step off the bottom of the table with their first win, as I say, 1 win and 2 losses so far this season for them. Over in the NBA, and the Pelicans took on the Pacers yesterday in what was a very, very tight game. The Pacers took the lead in the first quarter, only for the Pelicans to have really good games around halftime to get themselves a lead. In the final quarter, it was close, in the final quarter, the Indian Pacers made a comeback, 38 points to 28, but it wasn't enough as they lost 113-114. So a real close cliffhanger of a game there. Justin Holiday led the Pacers with 22 points. For the Pelicans, Steven Adams got himself a double-double, 12 rebounds and 12 points, while Brandon Ingram scored 30 points there for the team. So a good win for the Pelicans in that one. Looking at the rest of the games, the Jazz picked up a win over the Hornets, 138-121. The Celtics beat the Clippers, 119-115, picking up key results as there were 9 games yesterday. On the table, so then, the 76ers lead the Bucks and the Nets in the Eastern Conference still. And the Western Conference, the Jazz lead the Lakers and the Clippers in that one. As Matthew says on Twitter, how good was Joe Root? And yes, let's move on to the cricket. And England are 555 for 8 at the close of play against India. Joe Root scoring 218 off 377 balls there, leading the team. Ben Stokes also scoring 82 in that the big stand with Joe Root there. The bowlers really shared the wickets around. Only no bowler got more than 2 wickets for India. The big question mark is going to be, will that scoreboard pressure be enough to cause India to cause India to lose their wickets, or is it a flat backing track that we're heading towards a draw in this one? We'll have to wait and see how India cope. 3 days left in that Test match. Over in Pakistan and the South Africa were all bowled out for 201 in their innings. Bavuma really was the rock around which the innings was built. 44 not out for him off 138 balls there, as Hassan Ali took 5 wickets in that innings. Pakistan have gone back in and really stumbled to 129 for 6 in this one. Azhar Ali scored 33 and Rizwan is currently 28 not out along with Hassan Ali there. That means that Pakistan now have a lead of 200 runs. So the game really in the balance in this one. South Africa will be looking to wrap up those last wickets as quickly as possible to give themselves something that they can chase. In the third test then, or for the first test between Bangladesh and West Indies, but the third test is going on at the moment. The Bangladesh declared for 223 off 8. A very, very strange scorecard that reads 5, 0, 0, 115, 18, 69, 7, 3, 1 in that one. So that 115 was with Moninul Haq, the captain there. Liton Daz, the wicketkeeper, got 69 as they got to 223 for 8 declared. That means they've set the target, the West Indies a target of 359 to win the game with one day left to go. Currently, they are 110 for 3. So they really do need a couple of their batsmen to stick around if they're going to make any fist of that one. But that would be a big total for them to chase on the final day. Bonner is currently and Mayers are currently in there at 15 and 37 not out. Over in the Super Smash, and we had 2 games yesterday. First off, the Otago Sparks took on the Northern Spirit. The Otago Sparks went into bat and scored 153. Sorry, that's not true. Yes, 153 for 6 with Martin, their captain and wicketkeeper, also the top scorer with 85 off just 56 balls there. Setting a good total. The Northern Spirit, they were really behind the run chase from about the 5th over onwards and were eventually made it to 111 for 9 in the 20th over, in their 20 overs. Templeton with 31 off 30 balls, top scored for them. Carson taking 3 wickets for the Otago Sparks in that one. But Black, who just gave up 10 runs off her 4 overs, really doing a good job as well, picking up 2 wickets there. That means now that they've both played all of their regular season games so far. And let me just get rid of that sidebar. There we go. Meaning that with 1 game just left to go, the Canterbury Magicians are top of the table with 30 points. The Wellington Blaze can go back ahead of them today with the game that I will be at when they play Auckland Hearts. Auckland Hearts can, if they win that one, will have a home quarter or home elimination at final against the Blaze again. At the bottom there, you can see the Otago Sparks with their win yesterday, moving ahead of the Central Hinds to finish in 5th place. Central Hinds finishing last with just 2 wins from their games. Moving on then to the men's event, and the Northern Knights posts that went into that first, scoring 191 for 6. Devic, the captain, scored 75 in that one. I think there's only been 5 scores over 200, I think it is, this season, and that shows you that the 4 or 5, I think it is, the Northern Knights with 191 set up a really good total there. They knew they were in a good position after that. After that one, going into the Otago Volts innings, and well, they were actually ahead of the run rate there whilst chasing that that total, but wickets started to fall in the 11th, in sort of the 11th over. And then they lost. We're losing wickets every over. So 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. They lost two wickets, and that really put a halt on their run chase. Southey with 3 wickets was a key part of that. He also managed a run out as well. So Broome at top of the order with 47 off 34 balls, and Kitchen with 37 off 26. While they were in, it looked like there was an opportunity, but as I say, those wickets falling from the 11th over onwards really put a handbrake on the run chase by the Otago Volts, seeing the Northern Knights win that one. That means that the Northern Knights will finish in 4th place there, and the Volts in last. We have one more game today, which is the Auckland Aces taking on the Wellington Firebirds. Really, it's will make no difference to the table, but purely for bragging rights with that one. The Wellington Firebirds have already secured top spot and a home final, and the Auckland Aces can't make it to the finals in that one. Let's catch up on the 6 Nations, and the France beat Italy earlier today by 10 points to Italy and 50 to France. A convincing victory by France in that one. The second game between England and Scotland is currently live, and in the second half, England are trailing 6-11 at the moment. So Scotland got up there at Twickenham. So congratulations to them with a try from Van der Meer, and all of England's points from the boot of Owen Farrell so far. That will be a significant upset. Scotland winning at Twickenham, but hey, and also the Englishman, upsetting to see that one. Or we'll see. But we'll bring you the final result tomorrow on the morning sports briefing at 7 a.m. We're here with you every day of the week. We haven't touched on the golf yet, so let's move on to the golf over in the PGA and at the Phoenix Open. Danny Lee unfortunately missed the cut at 1 under par in that one, and so will not be taking, so not playing at the weekend there. The American Shuffle there at 12 under is the current leader. Over on the European Tour at the Saudi International, and Ryan Fox was top of the leaderboard. He's slipped back to tied 7th now at 9 under par after the 3rd round. He's 4 shots off Johnson, who is in the lead there with that one. But yes, a very good tournament for early in the season for Ryan Fox. Great to see. Over in the A-League, and yesterday the Brisbane Roar. First off, Macarthur FC took on Western Sydney Wanderers and fought out a 2-2 draw in that one. Macarthur FC having a really good opening season. It's their first season of existence, and really showing that they really are competitive from the off. The Brisbane Roar beats Melbourne Victory 5-2 in the second game yesterday. That sees them top of the table, just ahead of Central Coast in that one. Both of them on 12 points currently. Brisbane Roar having played one less game there in that one. MacArthur in a credible 5th place there. Today, we have 2 games. Central Coast Mariners will have the opportunity to go back top as they take on Western United, and Newcastle Jets take on Melbourne City FC. No, sorry, Melbourne City FC is, that's both of those matches are today. Sorry, match. One of them is a catch-up match, which is why they're listed in the wrong order as to time as to when they happen. Sorry about that, folks. That is the A-League. So you've now started the day the best way up to speed with all of the important sports news. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. As I say, I will be at the Eden Park for the games between Auckland and Wellington in the Super Smasher. Look out for my coverage of those games, and hope you all have a great weekend.